Hello, I'm Peter Brown. I'm a Chartered Certified Accountant and a Registered Auditor, and at the time of recording I'm a Council Member of the Association of Charity Independent Examiners.
Hello, I'm Helen Hamilton and I'm a Chartered Accountant.
I write and publish the Sorpaid VT charity templates to produce charity accounts.
So what are the VT charity templates?
Sorpaid's VT charity templates are Excel templates that have been designed to run with VT accounts production software, which is a commonly used package in the accounting profession. The templates are used to prepare charity compliant SORP accounts. What is VT software and how does it differ from VT transaction?
VT software is a utility published by a company that is not connected with Sorpaid. A full description of VT software accounts production can be viewed at www.vtsoftware.co.uk from where the product may be purchased.
VT software works by building some very clever macros into Excel, which are loaded automatically whenever Excel is opened up.
That means that our templates are automatically able to use the macros in VT whenever our templates are opened up.
VT accounts production produces final accounts, as do our templates. VT accounts production software should not be confused with VT transaction, which is a quite separate bookkeeping product.
So what is required to run the VT charity templates?
You must first meet the requirements of VT software, which requires Excel 2003 or above, but not a 64-bit version of Excel. Your computer can be a 64-bit computer. It is the Excel 64-bit version which causes the problem. Any Windows operating system is sufficient. Any recent Windows operating system is sufficient. And fuller details are available on vtsoftware.co.uk.
For Sorpaid's VT charity templates, you must have VT software installed as an Excel add-in. You must also have Excel 2003 or above.
We are sometimes asked if you can use the templates without using or installing VT software. In theory, yes, but in practice, no. The templates are Excel templates and so could be used with Excel without VT, but VT software has some very powerful macros built into it which manipulate the templates. If you attempted to prepare accounts without the macros, it would be a very long and tedious process fraught with possible errors.
So how are the files installed and opened?
There is a separate video showing how the files are installed. We would recommend that you watch this. In addition, there is a quick install guide and a brief user's guide in the help file. We would strongly suggest that before using the templates, you click on the link on your desktop to the help files, and when this has been loaded, click on the link to the quick installation guide and the brief user's guide and read that carefully to give you an overview of how the software works.
A Sorpaid charity template is loaded by clicking on the shortcut that is installed on the desktop, which will load a menu. When you have loaded the menu, you can choose which template to use.
Alternatively, you can use the drop-down list in the VT commands. The drop-down list will only work if you have configured the templates as described in the help file. It will not normally be necessary to configure the help file to make the templates work. How complicated are the templates and why?
The templates may at first sight seem complicated, but if you follow the step process, much of this complication is removed.
A report recently showed that 45% of accounts filed with the Charity Commission by qualified accountants were materially defective. The Association of Charity Independent Examiners find that many applications from qualified accountants fall far short of the standard expected. The evidence shows that qualified accountants are getting charity accounts wrong.
The reason for this is simple. Charity accounts are complicated. Even a very small charity may have unusual circumstances that require unusual disclosures. Many accountants do not have the breadth of experience that will enable them to identify every required nuance of disclosure.
Because of this, we have designed Sorpaid charity templates so that they cover almost every kind of conceivable disclosure. In other words, the templates themselves become a disclosure checklist. The user then answers questions in the steps process that identifies what might or might not apply. This, coupled with the VT auto-hide facility, means that when the accounts are finalised, only the relevant disclosures are revealed, but nothing is missed.
As I said before, the templates may seem complicated and do involve a lot of work, but if you follow the steps process carefully, you will end up with an accurate set of accounts. It may take you an hour or so longer than if the templates looked a little bit more simple, but if you want a quality product that reflects well on your professional standards, then an extra hour or so of work is well worth it.
Shortcuts in this area of work are to be discouraged. Follow the step process and you will be in the 55% that actually get the account right. In the past, many users have seen our approach as very beneficial and very professional, and you will see many glowing comments on the internet about the templates. Others, on the other hand, have sometimes taken the view that a simpler approach will work, but then have regretted it later.
Charity accounting is complicated. However, in several areas there may be perfectly valid alternative ways of applying the SORP and the law. If you are certain your interpretation is valid, feel free to modify the templates, but do so with the utmost care to avoid deleting formula that may have a ripple effect on the remainder of the accounts. Always check that any cells that appear blank does not have a hidden formula within it.
What about the range of templates, Helen?
The templates come in various bundles. What you have installed on your computer will depend on the bundle you've purchased. What about the bundles for each of the jurisdictions, Peter?
In the UK, there are 3 legal jurisdictions for charities. England, together with Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, form separate legal jurisdictions. Each jurisdiction has its own disclosure requirements, so there is a separate bundle for each jurisdiction. For each bundle you have purchased, you will be licensed to prepare as many accounts as you want for as many charities as you want for 1 year after purchase. After the end of the year, you must renew your licence. What's within the bundle for each jurisdiction, Helen?
Within the bundle for each jurisdiction there are 4 large templates and 4 small templates. The large templates consist of the FRESI 2015 SORP with endowment funds, the FRESI 2015 SORP without endowment funds, the FRS 102 2015 SORP with endowment funds, and the FRS 102 2015 SORP without endowment funds. The 4 small templates have similar templates for small charities. A small charity is defined as one that is not subject to statutory audit under charity legislation, even if it may be subject to audit under some other legislation.
There is no legal reason why small charities should not use a large format, but this would create unnecessary and more detailed work. We would recommend that any charity that is eligible to do so should use the small formats, not the larger ones.
A user also has to decide whether to use the FRS 102 SORP or the FRESI SORP. If the charity meets the conditions for a smaller company under the Companies Act, even if it is not a company, then it can use the FRESI SORP.
There is no legal reason why a charity eligible to use the FRESI SORP should not use the FRS 102 SORP, but it would create unnecessary and more detailed work, as with preparing larger accounts would do if you were eligible for smaller accounts. We would recommend that any charity that is eligible to do so should use the FRESI SORP formula.
If you change to the FRS 102 SORP, you may have to change a number of accounting policies and make prior adjustments to comply with the SORP. This will not be necessary under the FRESI SORP. Both SORPs will be withdrawn after a year and be replaced by a new SORP 2016, which is expected to have exemptions for smaller charities. If you go from the 2005 SORP to the FRESI 2015 SORP and then to the 2016 SORP, there is expected to be much less work than if you adopted the FRS 102 2015 SORP.
So we would repeat our advice that any charity that is eligible to do so should use the FRESI SORP formats.
What about consolidated accounts?
If you require consolidated accounts, then bundles are also available in the large formats to achieve this. It is not necessary to use the smaller formats because consolidated accounts cannot be prepared in the small formats. What about cross-border accounts, Helen?
If you need to prepare accounts for a cross-border charity, that is to say, a charity that operates in more than one UK jurisdiction, then you should use the Scottish or Northern Ireland templates for this and follow the guidance on cross-border charities in the help files. What about individual accounts for just one charity?
You may not have purchased a bundle. You may have purchased a single template for a single specified type of charity. If this is the case, you are licensed to use that template for that one charity only and for no others. The license is renewable after 1 year after purchase. What about the help files, Helen?
There is a very full help file which also doubles as a working manual. You can access the help files through the menu when you first load up the templates.
Alternatively, throughout all areas of the templates, there are links to context-specific help files indicated by the word help, followed by a description of the subject area. Clicking on those links will open up the help file. Once in the help file, you can access the overall contents of the manual at any time by clicking on appropriate links. What about golden rules about using the VT charity templates?
When using the templates, there are some golden rules to make sure you produce a set of accounts quickly and efficiently as possible.
First, help files. Refer to the help files for guidance on any area of work. This will help you with the mechanics of using the templates and also give guidance on the application of the SORPs and the law.
Second, the step process. Follow the step process systematically and do not try to bypass it.
Third, colour conventions. Throughout the templates there are blue and yellow cells. Never attempt to enter data to yellow cells. Many of them are locked for entry, but some of them in the body of the accounts are not locked, as this would interfere with auto-hide. Only enter data into blue cells. Also, in the body of the accounts there is a large amount of guidance about what you should enter and where. You should read that guidance as you proceed through the steps.
Fourth, the errors sheet. At the end of the job, in step 42, make sure you review the errors working sheet.
Fifth, deleting rows. There are many numerical and textual formulae scattered throughout the templates that have a knock-on effect elsewhere into the template. You should never delete cells or rows unless there is an indication that it is safe to do so. The templates have been designed so that auto-hide should remove anything that's irrelevant. If auto-hide does not work as expected, then look carefully at what it is that you want to delete and the underlying settings, and amend them using the VT commands to remove or set up auto-hide areas. If you really feel you need a row needs to be deleted and if auto-hide will not work, then use the Excel row command at the end of the job to reduce the height of the row to 0 as an alternative to deleting a row.
The step process.
The steps process is at the heart of the accounts production process. You should follow each step systematically from the beginning to the end of the job, following the instructions for each step. The easiest way of going through the steps process is by going through to the Home tab on the template and clicking on the link to the relevant step. You can also click on the next step at the end of each step. There is a link to specific help files in each step. As you proceed through the steps, do not worry if errors appear on the error sheet. As your work continues, most of these will disappear.
At the end of each step is a box asking you if you've completed the step. In all cases, even if the step is not relevant or not applicable, you should enter Y when you have completed the step or are ready to proceed to the next step.
In the rest of this video, there are individual clips about each step and how you approach the step and what its function is. We suggest that you read those separate videos carefully. Thank you for buying the Sorpaid VT charity templates.